What's going on, guys? This is Alex here with 814 EDC, and I am ready to do another review for you guys. Now, this knife is actually what I've been carrying today, and that is my Spyderco Para 3. Now, I know this review has been a long time coming. I've had this knife since Christmas time, and I don't know what's made me put it off. Nothing has said to me, oh, I want to keep putting that knife off. I just haven't gotten around to it, but today I am, so here it is. Yeah, this is the Spyderco Para 3. Mine specifically is the Bento box edition with the K390 steel. And the reason I went with the Bento box edition one was there's so many Para 3s out there, and steels and colors, and it's one reason why I love Spyderco so much, especially like the Para 3 and the PM2 line. If you're getting into knives and you want a specific color or want a specific, configuration, you can have it if you want a Para 3 or a PM2. There's just, every retailer basically has an exclusive, and there's just so many variants out there, and I love it. But for me, so I had the Para 3 lightweight, which you guys, if you've been around the channel for a while, you would have known, or you've known that I've had that for a while. That and my bug out, which I still needed to do a review of my bug out for you guys, but I had those two for the longest before really starting my collection, and I love the Para 3. It was a fantastic lightweight. I carried it in the summer a ton in gym shorts and stuff like that, but the more I got into knives and stuff like that, and I got some other lightweight stuff, I really wanted to try a Para 3. I knew that I love the Ergos and the Para 3 lightweight, and I knew that they were basically going to be the same on the normal Para 3, and I just felt like it was time for me to kind of, just jump up and get to a Para 3 and have it kind of for my forever Para 3. So I wasn't, I didn't really want just the normal S30V blade and black G10. Nothing wrong with those. I just wanted something different. And I really was doing some thinking, and like I said, there's a ton of options out there. Bento box, technically, I believe has I've seen where they're starting to kind of go away from Bento box because they're starting to sell out and stuff, but I could be wrong on that. But they have the K390, PM2, and the Para 3 with these nice Ranger green scales, and they also have in both the Para 3 and the PM2 M390 in either a satin or a DLC blade with blue handle scales. I believe those are both Bento box exclusives. I know the K390 is. I'm 95% sure the M390 is too. And I was just doing a lot of thinking, and I ultimately wanted to go with the K390 because I felt like, from what I've heard from guys reviewing it, it was a fantastic steel. It's it's tough. It keeps a good edge, and it's just, as long as I keep it maintained and don't let moisture get on it, which I use EDCI, I've applied that at least once or twice by now, to keep it from rusting and stuff like that. I felt like K390 was different. It wasn't as popular as S30V or even M390, or there's some done in XHP. There is now one done in Crewwear and 20CD and everything like that, and those are all really good steels. I don't know, I like the Ranger green. I love green colors, and I just wanted to go with the K390, and I'm really happy I have. From like I said, I haven't put a ton of, I don't really use my knives hard, but I was carrying this at work the other day, and I had to tear through some boxes to put in the dumpster, and I just ate them right up. It did really, really good. But yeah, that's kind of my rambling version of why I decided to go with the K390 model one. Just because I heard really good things about it, and I wanted a kind of a super steel for me to have for my forever Para 3. Same thing goes for the PM2. Surprisingly, I have never handled a PM2. I know that's, kind of crazy to think because I'm a knife guy. I feel like a PM2 is such a benchmark knife to have in your collection, and I completely agree that it is. And I fully plan on getting one in the collection. I'm just holding out for one, and that is the Rec Para the Rec PM2. If the Rec Para 3 came out again, I'd probably buy that too. But I love Rec's colorway, and I wasn't able to get it the first time they dropped, so I'm kind of holding out for that one because they are making new ones. Just not in the 204p blade steel. I think these next ones will be in 20 CV, they said, but same colorway. So I'm just holding out for that. But because I really don't, loud truck. I really don't see myself, collecting multiples of a knife. So I just really would like to get, the version that I want for whatever knife it is. So, but enough with me rambling about that. I've already stated that these do have the Ranger Green or Forest Green G10 scales. They're very nice. They were definitely more grippy and more like sandpaper feeling when I first got it, but for me using it and carrying it, they have, kind of worn down. Just a really nice satin blade, typical, the Para 3 is definitely a very popular knife, so you guys are all very familiar with it, I'm sure. It says Golden Colorado, USA Earth there. There it says Spyderco. Has the Spyderco logo. And then it has Eric and Sal Glesser, their little autograph, little name tags there. And then this one, I did throw a Lynch Northwest deep carry clip on, because if you guys know, the normal Spyderco spoon clips on the I almost want to say PM3s, Para 3s are trash. You had so much knife sticking up out of your pocket, so it's a necessity if you own one of these knives, I think, to put either a Lynch or an MXG gear clip on here. And then, of course, the Para 3, Spyderco, has the compression lock, which is an awesome lock. I love it. And yeah, there is no skeletonizing going on, just a full knife throughout. And then on the compression lock side, there's none either. But I don't think this knife really needs it. I think it has a good weight to it. It's lightweight as it is, and I think it carries a nice weight for what the knife is. So next, we're going to go into action, and of course, this does have the patented Spidey hole. And it makes Spidey flicking a really, a dream. You just get your middle finger in there, flick it right open. It's very good, very fun to fidget with. Thumb flick, also very, very good. You can slow roll it out, which I find to do slow rolling, I find the Spidey hole probably the best, because the way your thumb just fits in there and you can roll it right out. But yeah, just an awesome. I hit my finger. I haven't taken this knife apart, and it did have a little bit of kind of like compression lock stick when I first got it, but it's definitely loosened up a lot. And the action is just drop shutty. And that's one thing that compression locks do super, super well, is how smooth and how drop shutty they can be. But sometimes I pointer flick it out if I'm playing with my knives. There we go. Yeah, it's fun to play with. The compression lock is a lot of fun. It's basically like a reverse aligner lock, but I really enjoy playing with it. You get really cool sounds from it, I think. Just a blast to play with. So action is very good, and I believe the Para 3s and PM2s are on washers. I haven't taken this knife apart yet, because for one, I heard the lanyard tube is a pain to get out, and I haven't wanted to really deal with that. But yeah, I think these are on washers. I'm pretty sure they are. So to have that kind of drop shut action is just really, really nice. Next up is Ergos, and again, if you guys know anything about the Para 3, I keep wanting to say either PM2 or PM3, but the PM3 is not a thing, and this is the Para 3, obviously, not a PM2. So just basically a smaller version of the PM2. But if you guys know, Para 3s have great ergos. They have this really nice thumb ramp right here with some jimping on it that you can just get really good purchase on. This choil up here also has some jimping. In Spyderco, honestly, they're fantastic at making, really, really good ergonomically knives. Because the Para 3 lightweight was good. This is really good. My Native 5 lightweight is really, really good. The Gale Bradley 2 that I just got in last week, its ergos are also very good. And I think there's only Spydercos that I've handled. The Bombshell, the Danger Pickle, it, you know, for being chunky, its ergos are pretty solid too. So I feel like Spyderco just does really, really well with their ergos. They seem to knock all those out of the park. But if I don't use the choil, I can still fit all 4 fingers on here. If I do, I just get a really good grip on it. The lynch clip stands up a little bit from the knife, but I don't really feel it that much. It kind of falls right into my one of my like knuckle crevices when I wrap my fingers around it. And yeah, they're just very, very comfortable. I think the Para 3s and the PM2s for that matter are phenomenal worker knives. And I know a lot of other people have stated that before as well. That they're great users because of, you know, the ergos and the blade geometry, which I forgot to mention. This is a full flat grind. I should have mentioned that with my materials. And it's, you know, not the thinnest behind the edge, but still pretty thin. And I think it's a great work knife. Just a really good EDC knife. The Para 3s kind of took the EDC world by storm, I think, when they first kind of came out and dropped a few years ago. Just because everyone loved the PM2, but this was just a smaller version of it. And I think they did a really, really good job with that. One thing that I would like to note about the scales is it kind of has this belly here. A lot of people are starting to sell skinny mod scales where they basically cut this belly out. I've been thinking about grabbing a pair of those just to see how they are. The body of these humps right here don't really, bother me too much, but I've heard once you put the skinny scales on, that's when you can really notice a difference in it. So eventually I probably will do that, but that's kind of why I got this knife too, because I really like the scales that were already on it. But yeah, ergos, really, really good. Actually, really great, to be honest with you. And then next is Carrie, and as I've already stated multiple times, I did put a Lynch Northwest clip on here, and it still sticks out of your pocket a little bit. This lanyard tube kind of does, and I know a lot of people have complained about the pocket clip, location on this type of knife, because it almost feels like they designed the knife and they put it together and they said, "Oh shit, I forgot to put a pocket clip on here," and they just stuck it on here. Because you guys can see where the screwing is for that. So when you had the normal like spoon clip for Spyderco, you pretty much had this much knife sticking up out of your pocket, if not more. And I hated it. So as soon as I got this for Christmas, I ordered a Lynch clip, I think either that day or the next day. And I didn't carry it out of the house until I got that clip. Just because I hated it. Like, I think that was one major letdown with this knife. Because it's a phenomenal knife. I love this knife. It's one of my favorites. It's a lot of people's one of their favorites, and they love it, and it's just a great knife. But I think they dropped the ball on the pocket clip. I think that it could have been much better. I think that, they just could have designed it out a little bit more. I feel like they prioritized the lanyard hole over the pocket clip, which is stupid. But, the Lynch clip helps that. I wish it could have been a little bit deeper, but it's miles better than from factory. And from carrying, it sits deep enough into your pocket. It's a relatively lightweight knife. It doesn't have a huge... the blade itself does have this, which kind of the peak of the blade, you could call it, right above the Spidey hole. And it could... it sticks a little bit out of your pocket, but it's not, horrible. Or it's wide in your pocket is what I'm trying to say. My brain wasn't working for a second, but when it's in, there's nothing over here. It's all contoured nicely, nice and smooth. So carrying it is really, really, easy. You don't really know it's there when it's in your pocket, and I really don't have any complaints. If I didn't have a Lynch clip on here, I would definitely complain about it being up out of my pocket too far, but I don't have that issue because I put the Northwest clip on here, the Lynch clip. So Carrie's good. And that brings me to my final sort of thing that you guys know I always talk about, and that is price point and what I recommend Would I recommend this knife? Absolutely. The Para 3 is a benchmark in the EDC world. I don't want to go as far as saying you should have a PM2 and a Para 3 in your collection, because I know, I don't have a PM2 right now, but I will. And I just think that, these definitely are a benchmark. I think that when you're talking about like standard, like classic EDC knives, I think that this is definitely in those ranks. I think that this is the PM2. You could go and say that the Benchmade 940 is, even though I don't like it. I know a lot of people do, and now that I have one on hand, I kind of get why, even though I still don't like the blade shape. You could say that is. I think a Bug Out has moved into that category as well. Just made by, Spyderco is a great company. They come out with a lot of cool knives, and I think the Para 3 is one of their best ones. It's really good. I love it. The price on this was without shipping, because shipping is like $10 from Bento box, which is kind of stupid. But I believe these go for like $180, $185 with the K390. I think, to me that's worth it, because you're paying an extra, I want to say like the standard S30V and black G10 go for like $145 or $150 now. So you're paying like an extra $30 or $40 to get, a different color of scales and a much more, upgraded steel choice. So to me it's worth it. I know a lot of people think it's worth it too. I know a lot of people that, collect all these and have a ton of different variants in their collection, and I'm just happy to have this one. I don't plan on getting really any more, except maybe if the Rec Para 3 dropped again, because I think the Rec Para 3 is definitely considered to be like the hardest knife to get on the secondary, and probably the most expensive to get. Not the most expensive to get, but like from upcharge. Like, because these, that one goes for like, I want to say I went for like $160, $170, somewhere in there. And now you can't, to even pry them loose, you're talking like $600-700. So like the upcharge from that is just insane. They're very rare, and I wasn't in the hobby when those dropped, but I love the colorway of it. So if they ever did a new release of those, I would definitely jump on one of those. Same as the PM2, as you guys know, that's what I'm waiting for. So, but yeah, unless, if they brought some other crazy colorway out and crazy steel out, maybe I consider that too. But I'm content with just having my K390 model. I think it's really good for what I need to do. It's kind of, to me, I still, when I use it, I think, oh, K390, like that's kind of a really bougie, cool steel, and it's a really good steel. So it still makes me happy to use it, and I love this knife. And again, it was a gift from my parents for Christmas, so I will never sell this knife. It's gonna be in my collection forever, and I will use it and abuse it and love it forever. So that's all I have to say for you guys for today. I know you guys definitely have seen plenty of Para 3 videos, so if you've watched this entire thing, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for stopping back in and for checking out my channel and for watching this video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.